A secret meeting, a late-night raid, and a plot that could have changed the course of Nigeria's future. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, reports began to circulate across Abuja's political circles, whispers of a failed coup attempt discovered by Nigerian intelligence. At the center of the storm was a familiar name, Chief Timipre Sylva, former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and once a powerful ally of former President Muhammadu Buhari. According to multiple sources within the security community, Sylva was allegedly linked to a clandestine network of high-ranking military officers accused of plotting to overthrow the Tinibu administration. The question that has since dominated every discussion in government and security quarters is this: who was really behind the plot, and how close did they come to seizing power? This is the story of the man behind the failed coup, a tale of intelligence operations, political discontent, and the deep fault lines within Nigeria's power structure. The raid that shook Maitama. It began quietly, just before dawn in the upscale district of Maitama, Abuja. Residents of the neighborhood noticed the movement of unmarked military vehicles converging near a mansion known to belong to Timipre Sylva. By 3 a.m., the silence of the night was shattered. A special military operations team, reportedly acting on high-level intelligence, stormed the compound in what has now been described as a coordinated raid led by the Defense Intelligence Agency. The operation, according to insider reports, followed weeks of intercepted communications and surveillance that allegedly linked Sylva to several detained military officers suspected of involvement in the plot. But the raid did not end in Abuja. Within hours, another parallel operation was launched hundreds of kilometers away, this time in Bayelsa State, at Sylva's country home. There, his brother, identified as Pega Sylva, was reportedly arrested and flown to Abuja for interrogation. A top security source who spoke under anonymity disclosed that Sylva himself had fled Nigeria just days before the raid. The Army Special Team ransacked his home, the source said. He is the South former governor who has been mentioned several times in the case. His brother was picked up during the operation. The coordinated nature of the raids, and the secrecy surrounding them, sent shockwaves through the nation's political establishment. Few expected such a dramatic turn, and even fewer believed that a former cabinet member could be implicated in a plot of this magnitude. The secret coup network. As news of the raid spread, reports began to emerge of a deepening investigation within the Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA. According to credible sources, at least 16 senior military officers, drawn from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, had already been detained in connection with the alleged coup. The officers, ranging from the ranks of lieutenant colonel to commodore, were reportedly arrested in different locations across the country. But what was even more troubling was the manner of their detention. For over 3 weeks, these officers were held incommunicado, without access to their families, lawyers, or the public. No official statement was issued. Their whereabouts remained unknown. One family member of a detained officer shared an emotional account. "It's been 18 days since he disappeared. At first, we thought our brother was kidnapped. We only found out the truth from someone working in the NSA office. Even now, no one has told us where he is or what is accused of." Behind the scenes, investigators were reportedly piecing together evidence. Secret meetings, unexplained financial transactions, and movements that coincided with growing political unrest. Whether these fragments pointed to a real coup attempt or simply a political witch hunt remained uncertain. But the atmosphere within the military establishment was tense. Officers watched their colleagues disappear overnight. Rumors of internal purges began to circulate. And the once solid image of unity within Nigeria's armed forces appeared to be under silent strain. Signs of discontent. To understand the alleged coup, one must look beyond the barracks, to the heart of Nigeria's political elite. For months, there had been quiet discontent among politicians loyal to former President Muhammadu Buhari, who felt sidelined under the new administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Many of these figures, once powerful under the last government, complained privately of exclusion from major appointments, contracts, and influence. They saw Tinibu's consolidation of power not as continuity, but as replacement, a systematic purge of the old order. Among them was Chief Timipre Sylva, one of Buhari's trusted allies and a major figure in the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Sylva's career had been built on both political ambition and controversy. He served as governor of Bayelsa State between 2007 and 2012. Later, he became Minister of State for Petroleum Resources under Buhari, overseeing one of Nigeria's most strategic sectors. In 2023, he contested the Bayelsa governorship election again under the APC but lost to the incumbent governor Duya Diri of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The defeat was a political setback, one that some say marked the beginning of Sylva's quiet withdrawal from public life. But others suggest it marked something deeper, growing frustration among Buhari-era loyalists who felt marginalized in the new power configuration. Security analysts argue that this political discontent created fertile ground for conspiracy theories and underground movements. While there is no conclusive evidence linking Sylva or any of the detained officers to a concrete coup plan, the pattern of alliances, grievances, and timing has raised troubling questions. Could the alleged plot have been a real attempt to destabilize the Tinibu government? Or was it the symptom of deeper divisions within Nigeria's ruling class, a system where old loyalties clash with new centers of power? Silence from key players. As the story gained traction across major media outlets and social platforms, one thing stood out: silence. Neither the Nigerian army, the defense headquarters, nor Chief Timipre Sylva himself issued any immediate official statement regarding the allegations. The silence only deepened the air of mystery surrounding the case. In Abuja's political and security circles, tension was palpable. Meetings were held behind closed doors. Calls were made and not returned. The fear of leaks and misinformation made officials even more cautious. At the same time, security convoys were seen moving unusually across strategic zones in the capital, especially around key government facilities. This visible rise in military alertness fueled public speculation that something bigger might be unfolding behind the scenes. For many Nigerians, the absence of official clarity raised more questions than answers. Was the government containing a genuine security threat, or managing a political scandal that could shake the ruling party's image? The army responds: loyalty to democracy. It wasn't until several days later that the defense headquarters finally broke its silence. In a carefully worded statement issued in Abuja, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Chuka Gusau, described the reports of a coup attempt as false, malicious, and designed to sow panic among citizens. The military insisted that no coup attempt had taken place. According to the statement, the story was the product of exaggerated rumors, twisted to create tension between the armed forces and the civilian government. The defense headquarters reaffirmed what it called the unwavering loyalty of the Nigerian military to the constitution and to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the commander-in-chief. General Gusau also addressed one major question that had fueled conspiracy theories: the cancellation of Nigeria's 65th Independence Day parade. Many believed the cancellation signaled an emergency within the military ranks. But according to the defense headquarters, the reason was entirely different. The statement explained that President Tinubu was scheduled to attend a strategic bilateral meeting outside the country, requiring a shift in focus away from ceremonial parades to critical national priorities. It also noted that the armed forces were heavily engaged in ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-banditry operations, particularly in the northeast and northwest regions, making it impractical to divert personnel and logistics for a national parade. Regarding the 16 detained officers, the defense headquarters downplayed any link to a coup plot. Instead, it described the arrests as part of an internal disciplinary process, a routine procedure to ensure professionalism within the ranks. In short, the official message was clear: there was no coup, and the Nigerian military remained fully loyal to democracy. But for observers familiar with Nigeria's history, the reassurance did little to erase lingering doubts. The shadow of past coups, from 1966 to 1993, still looms large over the national psyche. Behind the scenes, political realities. Behind the press statements and denials lies a far deeper political reality, one that exposes the fragile balance of trust within Nigeria's corridors of power. Since taking office, President Tinubu has worked relentlessly to consolidate his authority, both within the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, and across key institutions of state. But that consolidation has not come without resistance. Many of Buhari's old allies, powerful figures who once dominated the political landscape, have found themselves increasingly sidelined. The appointments of new service chiefs, new advisors, and the restructuring of critical security commands have effectively shifted loyalty lines toward the new administration. Analysts suggest that this realignment of power, though necessary for Tinibu to establish control, has created quiet discontent among former power brokers. These undercurrents of frustration, when combined with Nigeria's worsening economic hardship and security challenges, form a dangerous cocktail of political instability. For a country with a history punctuated by military interventions, even the faintest rumor of a coup evokes public fear. It also tests the strength of Nigeria's democracy, a system that has endured for nearly 25 years without a military takeover, yet still bears scars from its authoritarian past. The Tinibu administration, keenly aware of these dynamics, appears to be tightening its grip, ensuring that loyalty across the security architecture is absolute. Whether the alleged coup plot was real or exaggerated, one outcome is certain: It has given the presidency both the justification and the momentum to reinforce its control over the armed forces. Questions that remain. Despite the official denials, several critical questions remain unanswered. Where is Timipre Sylva? Multiple reports indicate that he fled Nigeria before the raid, but his current location remains unknown. Has he sought asylum abroad, or is he merely keeping a low profile while the storm passes? What about the 16 detained officers? The defense headquarters insists they are under internal investigation, yet no public update or court appearance has been made. Are they truly undergoing routine disciplinary measures, or are they being silenced to conceal deeper divisions within the military hierarchy? And perhaps the biggest question of all, was there really a coup plot, or was this a political maneuver designed to neutralize perceived enemies within the power structure? In Nigeria, truth often hides behind layers of secrecy, misinformation, and political calculation. For now, what the public sees is only the surface of a much deeper struggle, one that involves loyalty, ambition, and survival at the highest levels of government. The story of the alleged coup attempt is not just about arrests, raids, or denials. It is a story about power, how it is gained, how it is defended, and how it is feared. At its core lies a chilling reality. In a nation where politics and the military have long shared an uneasy relationship, even rumors can ignite panic, suspicion, and crisis. What we see now is a government navigating between assertion and caution, projecting stability while quietly managing internal fractures. Timipre Sylva's name may dominate the headlines today, but the deeper question is about the system itself. How secure is Nigeria's democracy when power remains concentrated in the hands of a few, and when silence becomes a political strategy? As the investigation continues, one truth resonates across the nation. In a country where silence speaks louder than truth, the real coup may not happen in the barracks, but in the corridors of power. What do you think about the alleged coup plot? Was it a genuine threat, or politics as usual? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is Politique Africa, where we uncover the power, politics, and people shaping Africa's destiny. Subscribe for more exclusive political investigations and in-depth analysis from across the continent.